my fourth trip to Israel, followed by my fifth trip to Ukraine, two of our greatest allies fighting on the front lines of the global war on terror. Mr. Mamdani.
I would stay in New York City.
I like being ignorant. Ignorance is bliss. Like
the richest black man, the richest big dictator's black man.
a lot of people are too smart for their own good.
Lobsters are psychic.
Yes, I think people should be allowed to make jokes. So how many motherfucking Jews have to be killed before you stop?
News breaking, 18A. Mrs. Kitty turned inside out, she says. Spider Queen demon, that whole crew crossed the line to the
Even if they're concerned,
As a Jewish state?
as a state with equal rights.
people, goodly souls, quaking in their respective hidey holes. Everyone's wasted in this gruesome dream. Not the one of them left to hear you scream. Two against nature, don't you know? You're gonna grunt the shame, things to go. Two against nature, make them grow. You're gonna break the shape of things unknown. Things unknown.
Best artist, best clothing designer, best shoe designer, best marketer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been in the thing in a blur. Just
In the trenches.
just
In
yeah,
the gooey duck trenches.
yeah. No, we don't do that anymore because of the Chinese. They're gonna have to capitulate soon.
Did more people
You know.
get laid off?
No, they didn't really lay anybody off. Everybody started quitting.
Oh, nice.
They're gonna have like no employees now. They have
That's
to hire a
all.
bunch of people. Yeah,
I mean, that kind
Anyway.
of solves their problem.
yeah. Seems like that's what happens there quite a bit. Like when I first got there, there was only the crew bosses and the people who had been there like 10 years and 3 other employees, and everybody else just quit. I think everybody quits in cycles, you know. They follow
Yeah.
each other just like a herd of, not a herd, like a swarm of
Mhm.
of
Cicadas.
little insects, yeah, or like how the market moves. I was reading a thing about that today. It's interesting to think about, you know, you don't always see the way things move in the world for what they actually are, but you know, people get a little jumpy, people start to feel it, and things
Yeah.
move. But anyway, how have you been?
Oh, dude, I don't know. I guess burnt out from this new job or whatever, just building grills. It's been getting hot
Nice.
as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
That summertime heat, it's been melting my brain a little bit. So this, I don't know. I don't know. I've
yeah,
just been out in the sun building shit for Lowe's, just like fucking, I don't know, hell. But it's all right. I have a lot more time, but I feel just so fucking, I don't know, since it's a new job, maybe.
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. But
I've been doing
been,
coffee in the afternoons. I've
yeah.
been getting off work at like 4 or 5, and I'll go to the gas station and get like one of those Starbucks canned coffees, like a real coffee, because you can
Oh,
make
yeah.
coffee at home. You can grind the beans up, put it through the thing, try to get the right amount. You can try
What
the
my
instant
grandparents do.
coffee. Yeah, and I do that. I do that quite a bit, but it just doesn't. There's something about the chemicals they put in the can. I don't
Oh,
actually. I
yeah.
don't. I think the coffee at the gas station is probably better than the Celsius and all that, but
Yeah.
it gets you. You can come back at 4 or 5, and you're like, you know, normally I'd be a little groggy, but I got a brand new day, and I start
Jump,
cranking
jump,
stuff out. Yeah,
jump around.
yeah.
I need to start cranking the instant coffee again. I've just been crushing soda like a white trash fool that I am. It's terrible. I've been cr- I've been having a really tough week, dude. I've been like trying to learn how to roll a backwood, crushing soda, just fucking not in the loop, dude. Been out of it. I don't know what happened, but I hit a fucking speed bump. Just
Damn.
fucking can't roll it backwards, so you put a 10 millimeter socket in a water bottle. It's been a rough week. I
Oh,
haven't been.
what?
I you put a 10 millimeter socket in a water bottle cap, set that fucker on fire.
I don't know.
Fucking Ajib or whatever it's called.
I've never
Oh
heard
my
of it.
God. Dude, I've been white trash. I've been white trashing it, dude. I've been just been
Hell yeah.
getting farmer stance. So it's what you do. Fill a 10 millimeter socket full of weed, fill a water bottle full of water, and then you like drain it. And
Oh,
it like,
right.
yeah. I've been doing that over the sink. Just looking at my garage. Just losing my mind, dude. I don't know
Damn.
what happened. I don't know what happened, but this whole like I think it was
That's
the not having
above
a
that's above like dabs off the stovetop.
oh yeah, hot knife in it.
Yeah.
No, dude, it's I've been going crazy and I'm not quite sure why.
Yeah.
But
I realized
at the same
today I
time, I've had that white trash anger. I'm realizing today it's all just white trash, but I guess just got that dude, I've been furious. What were you gonna say?
today though I realized I like don't know how my brain works because I had the day off all of a sudden and I was like, wow, I'm gonna be even more productive and stuff. So I got
Yeah,
up and I just wasn't in that, you know, I
yeah.
didn't have that edge of organizing shit, just whipping stuff out. So I said I'll
Hmm.
start drinking coffee like it's 5 p.m. So I start drinking coffee, I start editing, putting out the episode. I'm thinking of names for it and stuff. And I start doing a couple zins. All of a sudden my brain is just has too much going on. I gotta overload. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just gotta lay down for a second. I
That
drank like a
happened to me.
whole I drank like a whole one of these, and then I was like, I can't handle this. I gotta lay down for a second. It took like a 2 hour nap where I was just doing regular stuff in my dreams, like trying to fix my truck and figure out what to make for dinner. And I woke up, I was like, fuck.
Damn, dude. Hitting those coffee dreams will get you.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah, dude. I lost my sunglasses too, so I've just been outside in the sun, just burning, like frying my skin and my eyes.
I don't
Bro,
use sunglasses outside.
only inside.
Yeah, only on the
Every time
podcast. I need to focus.
dude, I used to not wear sunglasses, but now that I do, I hate not having them.
Laird Hamilton
Especially
said,
especially for the podcast though.
I don't know what he said, but he said you're supposed to stare at the sun basically, and it cures you. It's not bad for you at all.
Yeah,
Makes you better extreme athlete or something.
I
I've been
guess
doing
so. That's
sunscreen, and I've heard bad things about that too, though. So,
no,
you know.
that's what I'm saying. Some guy offered me sunscreen the other day. I was like, I don't do that. I don't do that. Somebody made a good point. The only time I've ever wore sunscreen is because a woman was forcing me to. So, what does that
Hmm.
tell you about sunscreen? Take that. You know what I mean? Like, there's never been a time it's like, oh, I gotta put some sunscreen on.
Damn.
Because the use of sunscreen and the like number of melanoma cases just they correlate. More people using
Yeah.
sunscreen, more people are getting melanoma. It might be a overpopulation thing, but still.
Could be all the other chemicals and other things, hopefully. What's in this stuff? See this stuff? Look at that. It's called Banana Boat. It has a
Sport.
fruit in the name. So it's good. It's good for, it's like nature. It's like healthy. Feel good
Yeah.
about it, guys.
I got
Anyway, I
something in my
use
eye.
it and I still peel. Still go
Yeah.
out there and I fry.
Yeah, I was out in the sun just hanging out and I fucking got a little sunburnt. But dude, hold on one sec. I think I got like a hair in my eye or something.
Understandable. Anyway, what do we got in this thing? I'll read you guys the ingredients. Water. Nothing wrong with I'm honestly not a big fan. But glycol stearat okay. I thought there was gonna be good ingredients in this, but I don't know what any of this shit is. It might be fine. Might be fine. It might be like what is that blue dye that RFK is taking that you go, the other dyes are bad, the red fives and the blue Blake 22s, those are bad, but you're taking the blue dye. The blue dye is good for you. He takes little droppers of it, and they sell it on Infowars now. I don't know what to think, but I just haven't done my research, I guess. I just walk around and I with the information I get from what people send me and what I see on reels, that's how I figure out what's good for me. I walk around like I'm schizophrenic out here. I go to the grocery store. The lady tries to give me a receipt. I go, "Ugh, get it away from me. They're trying to get my testosterone. It's gonna mess up my, what do they say? Receipts are gonna mess up your I
Your
don't remember.
taxes. I don't
I don't
know.
I don't remember what it's called. Your metachlorine count or your
Yeah, you're
thetans.
that's from
I don't
Star
your
Wars.
your DNA your DNA. You're not gonna be able to make it to the upper level of Scientology. They're gonna take your testosterone out. And I go, get the receipt away from me. I can't touch it. I can't touch it.
Our,
I grab it out with
our
my sleeve and I look around me. I go, they're trying to steal my testosterone.
is receipt paper dangerous?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
dude, it's
Oh yeah.
estrogenizing.
Yeah.
It's estrogenizing. It's turning the fucking frogs gay.
My
Uh,
girlfriend told me about it, and my uncle sent me a reel of this guy who was like super jacked and alpha, and he said that receipts are super bad for you. That's why you're depressed and unhealthy, and you're not getting super strong.
I'm hearing a lot of BPA, BPS, Blue Forest. I don't know. Yeah, they kill testosterone.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, here we go. Here we go. I know this thread is old, but I'm a cashier and touch them every day. Am I cooked? You're gay now. There's nothing you can do. Yep, you're gay. Spread them open. Sir, I am a minor. You could get okay. Um,
There's so much stuff that can make
thanks,
you gay
Redditor.
now. I saw another clip said if you're like a certain finger is too long, Andrew Huberman said, probably gay.
If a certain finger's too long, which one?
Yeah, you might not want to show that publicly, but you just never know now.
They say 2 out of 3 guys are gay. And it's like I know I'm not gay. Rowan knows he's not gay. So
Must be the other 6 people watching.
yeah. Hopefully not
Wait,
just 6 people.
Was that the right math?
The other one person watching. 1 out of 3.
The other 4 people watching, that's what I meant to say. But no,
Yeah.
we're getting views now. We're getting views. We've had a couple hundred views on YouTube this past month. Got like
Yeah.
40 views on Spotify. I tried to upload it to BitChute. They said the file was too big, so I guess we can't put very long episodes on BitChute. They only have enough room for, that's why the Pizzagate documentaries are all like 20 minutes apart, posted from different channels and
That's strange.
split up. Probably so they
That's
can't,
really strange.
probably because the originals have been like deleted and shadow banned and stuff everywhere, and people are just
Yeah, just the file
posting
size
them
things.
on BitChute in like 20-minute pieces. Yeah, it seems maybe they just don't have a lot of power and room over there at BitChute. Might not be a big
Yeah.
operation, but we'll get it up on Rumble. Maybe we'll try Rumble with this next episode.
I was gonna listen to Nick Fuentes. That guy's fucking insane.
Yeah,
In a good way though, I think. This guy's out of his mind. Um,
I don't know.
I don't
That
have
could
much.
get you in
I don't have much.
trouble.
I don't have much more
Yeah,
to say
are
about
you
him.
gonna be the next half Mexican white supremacist?
Yes, I will be. I'll. Yeah, I'm gonna go to prison and join the Aryan Brotherhood. It's gonna happen. I went to a fortune teller and she said that's exactly what's gonna happen. So
That would be the move. You'd have opportunity in prison. And
you should
apparently
trust.
the whites and the the like the the cholo type Mexicans. Is that what they're called? You know what I mean? The guys that
Yeah,
like you know what I'm talking about. The guys with the
yeah,
long socks and everything.
yeah.
They're like tight in prison.
I think it's the white guys and the Serranos, or
They're
like
like the you know
and the Bloods and the Norteños.
when they really go to war, they're ready. Yeah, exactly. What are they called?
The Norteños and Serranos are like Bloods and Crips.
Right.
They're just Northern and Southerner. See, I
Yeah.
already know. I'm gonna walk in there. Be like, who has the keys to this yard? Start doing burpees. Nah, dude. Something I've been doing, I think it's regret. I've just been listening to like 8 hours, no ads of the MSSP podcast, Old Testament. Just
Hmm.
The fucking Matt and Shane podcast, dude. And I'm like, this is just brain rot.
Really?
It's just two dudes talking about jerking off like 90% of the time.
Really?
I'm just like, yeah, dude. Have you never listened to the Matt and Shane secret podcast?
I used to listen to it all the time. And then as
I mean,
soon as
some of it's kind of good, but most of it is just two guys talking about like taking a shit or jerking off
yeah.
or, or
Yeah.
being gay. I was like,
I feel like their
so,
lives are a little bit too good and put together. Like I used to listen to them a lot, and then as soon as Billy and Matt's little brother Billy and Spud,
yeah,
they're the guys that run
Spudman.
the War Mode podcast. As soon as they
Yeah,
came on and I heard them, I was like, this is my place. These are the guys
yeah.
that I really relate to. These are the
Those guys
guys
are
that, are still we're still
asking the
driving
big questions.
trash trucks and asking big questions. Yeah. Painting houses, investigating Pizzagate.
Yeah, let's talk about Sandy Hook isn't real.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the guys that their careers weren't big enough. They were like, you know what?
Sandy
I
Hook
don't
isn't
really know
real.
what happened.
Fucking Anderson Cooper was actually in town. He was ready,
Was he?
I guess. Supposedly. He was like 20
You've
minutes
been
away.
looking into it?
No, that's just what they said. That's just what I remember
Yeah.
when Billy and Spud were just like, yeah, we're painting this house. By the way, like Sandy Hook isn't real.
Yeah. That was on Matt and Shane's.
I guess, no, I think it was like probably from theirs maybe, but Matt and Shane,
Oh.
no, it was on theirs because Shane kept telling them to stop.
Oh.
He was like, yeah, maybe we don't talk about that. Maybe we change the
Yeah.
subject. I don't know. Crazy.
Well, Shane's I don't know what happened to Shane.
He's compromised.
Yeah.
Um,
He's a liberal now.
anyway, something I've been
Doesn't
thinking about.
even doesn't even question Sandy Hook. But I kind of want to look into it a little bit. I see the old Alex Jones clips from before he got in
Oh
big
yeah,
trouble and apologized.
I knew they had actors there clearly, but I thought they killed some real kids. And it just shows how bold they are that they clearly used actors. I mean, they even ended up using photos of kids killed in mass shootings here in a fake mass shooting in Turkey. So,
oh, the clips that got Alex Jones
Hmm.
fired from SNL.
Yeah.
Fucking bankrupted him. Something I think changing the subject here a little bit, but I think we're taking somebody put it this way, we're taking the cult out of culture. You know what I'm saying? But that's something I kind of want to talk about because I've been spending a lot of time in like
Culture's just something you buy and
exactly.
content you engage with now. It's not really
Yeah.
like a group of people.
Well, it's more, yeah, it's all
That's
really
mainstream culture. And then
well, main
there's mainstream, like there's
maybe
mainstream media, there's mainstream culture,
well
there's
not even
mainstream
like that.
alternative media, and
I'm saying like
mainstream, yeah,
oh yeah, like there's like 40 different types of pop music, but it's all
yeah,
still pop music. So it's like there's all these different types of cultures, but they're all really just uh the same thing, the same idea of just purely materialistic and worldly. Like the big questions aren't being asked anymore. And we're really just distracted from the big questions of being a person is like who am I? like where do I go when I die? Who do I need to pray to? Like what's like I don't know the big picture here, but it's all just been replaced with kind of distractions
Yeah.
of like I don't know. I've been to Idaho Falls and Twin Falls a lot, and it's like everyone has to buy a big ass truck. Everyone has to have like an ugly wife and like a couple kids, and like everyone has to own a house. It's but everyone has to do it. That's like their only thing about them is that they have to do this. Uh, it's I don't know. I don't know. It's taken away. Damn it! I get on camera, I start recording, I lose all fucking momentum.
Oh, it's heavy momentum.
Nah, it's just I can't get my thoughts clear. I've been out in the fucking sun. That summer heat
Yeah.
will hit you fast, but
I think like a month went by between we did the last episode. I was like, we're on a roll here. We're doing really good.
and
And
then
then
we took then we took a hiatus, got
yeah.
sunburned.
Then there was like a week where I was like, I just have random shifts and I'm like staying up all night. And then I'm like, I can't take it anymore. I'm buying a boat. And I fly down to Houston and then I uh get myself stranded. And then I'm
You
just
guys,
I'm just out in Clear Lake, just wondered what to do, which is good for you to do to yourself once in a while, to test yourself, and then you really don't have a choice. You're like, I gotta. You do have a choice, but you know it's more black and white than your regular life, where you're like, I guess I keep going forward and making progress, but I don't know where this is going. So it's a good reminder to have some like right there with a struggle with
what
the
what
reality.
happened?
I got progressive insurance. I got towed. Get progressive insurance. That's my advice
That's what I
to
got. That's
everybody.
what I
Get
have.
get progressive. Yeah. 36 extra dollars. I have towing insurance. So, yeah, I
You want
just
to lay
put
down the story? What happened?
uh
I haven't heard about this yet. Walk us through the event, the traumatic experience.
I get out there. Um First of all, every time I go to the airport, it gets more and more dystopian. This is my other advice for everybody. Get a passport. Get a passport now if you don't want to get your face scanned. Then if you don't want to get your face scanned, you probably get it on a special list and they'll target you eventually somehow for something. But, do the right thing. Don't get your face scanned. Start you gotta realize it might not seem like we're in the war yet, but it's started. They're getting
Yeah.
everybody's data. They're getting your biometrics.
You
You
really don't want
gotta
to get
you
your
gotta
face
at
scanned?
least yeah, you gotta at least try not to do it.
How does
No,
that work?
everybody
Does
walks up and it just takes a picture of you and they're like, "Boop, you're good," and they go through, and then it says on it, you know, real ID required after May 7th, and I guess a real ID is like a passport and a couple
yeah.
other things, or you have to get your face scanned. Um, I didn't know that. It doesn't tell you when you get your ticket or anything. So I didn't have my passport. And I just walked up and it said, if you don't want to do it, let them know. And I was like, I don't want to do it. And the guy says, what? He's like, what do you mean you don't want to do it? It's a face scan. I don't want to do it. All right. And then they give me this purple paper, laminated paper, which for the New World Order, or the the techno elite, not very sophisticated, I would step that up a little, guys. On the way back from Houston, they did give me uh, like a little card, I think, instead of just the laminated paper, but it says non-compliant on it, and then they just scan your driver's license or whatever, like
That's what it
regular.
says.
Yeah, it says non-compliant. So
What
you
the
just walk
fuck?
through in a separate line with a big piece of paper that says non-compliant,
What the fuck?
go through the thing, and then I was I was already a little bit out of it and in a hurry. So like started forgetting I had my belt on and a bunch of shit in my pockets. And anyway, I finally get through the thing And then the guy, do you mind if I don't know, I forget how they say it. They say it in a professional way, but they're like, do you mind if I grope you a little bit? And
Yeah.
then then he grabs you around down there and he's like, all right, you're good. Then I went through, forgot my laptop, but the flight got delayed, so I got to run all the way back through the airport, get my laptop, run back, get on the plane, I fly down there. I saw this thing, you get a super cheap rental car on Expedia. So I figured I was like, I'll do it. $100 for the couple days. I'll have somewhere to sleep and everything. Turns out you have to have I wander around the airport trying to find the shuttle to the rental car place. And I'm wandering around there for like 2 hours at 5 in the morning. Um, and then I try to sleep in the airport for a little bit. I'll go wander. Every time I go to the airport, I go, we could have a fucking utopia. But you guys, I don't know if you want to make this hard or you just care about making a little extra money. Can you make it a little bit easier for someone to catch a couple hours sleep in the airport? You know, do we have to do all this? It seems like it really seems unnecessary. It really seems like, this is part of the
Yeah.
reason that
Why couldn't you find the shuttle?
anyway,
Why,
I don't
why
know,
couldn't you find the shuttle?
technology, something. The I don't even remember how it happened. It's just a blur.
You're
Anyway,
just like sleep deprived.
yeah, I call him up. I get down out of all the levels of the parking garage. I get to the shuttle. Um, there's one other lady. Um, she had trouble finding it too, and she had it together. Um, so then we drive to the thing. Um, Also, all the guys that work there seem to like mostly speak Spanish, and I don't know, it's just kind of
Nice.
a weird setup. As far as like nothing wrong with it, but as far as like being kind of a sketchy rental company and then having people who didn't really know what was going on, uh, it was kind of weird. So we got
That's how
there,
you.
and
That's
then
how you run
they're
a business.
it probably is because they're like, sorry, no credit cards. And then you had to have, because I had already paid and put the deposit down or paid for it, but then they said they needed a deposit too, and you had to have a credit card. And she had left her a credit card, and I've never got one because I don't believe in it, but I guess I have to now. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna have to get a credit card this month because apparently you need it for being a part of the you know
The dismal future.
the dismal future. Yeah. And anyway, I made it through. I got a ride with the guy who had donated the boat on the Boat Angel,
Hmm.
which is like a church nonprofit that I bought it from. So I catch a ride with him and I try to have a conversation with him for like half an hour. Um, what did I do then? Oh, anyway, then I get there and I have to move it out of this marina because I couldn't get a credit check because I don't have a credit card. So I have to move it out of the more legit marina. Um, so anyway, we get down there and he shows me the boat and I don't really ask any questions about it because I haven't slept at all and I don't want to sound stupid. I'm like, all right, sounds good. Um, and then I just kind of go around and try to organize little things. I'm like, okay. And I watch some YouTube videos about like how to
Is
operate
this
and
a
dock and
sailboat?
stuff. Yeah.
You don't
And
know how to drive a sail. You don't drive it. You don't know. You don't know how to con a sailboat.
yeah, I mean it has a motor, but they switched it
Okay.
over to electric motor and I didn't ask him like how long it would run for
Oh, nice.
or that it was super slow. I don't know why they switched it over to electric, whatever. I'll figure it out, but Anyway, I watched some videos about driving it. I'm like, all right, it's time. So I had to call him up about how to use the throttle. Like the simplest question. You just have to slide a little thing up and then you can pull it back. Anyway, um, so I pull out of there. It goes pretty well. I have to kind of jump off and push myself away from the docks and stuff as I go through, but I make it out and then I just have what should be like a 5 minute boat ride if it had a motor that went more than like 3 miles an hour. So I'm just like,
So you're just trolling, pretty
yeah,
much.
I'm basically just trolling, and then it starts to lose power after like half an hour of doing it. Like I could see where I'm supposed to be, and I'm just slowly losing power, and the battery's going down. Like, fuck. And then also, I didn't realize the boat has almost a 6 foot draft or keel. And anyway, I just lose power and I just drift into this like muddy sand and get myself stuck. And then I also don't really know how to, like, I've only sailed on little dinghies, so I don't really know how to use these sails, but I'm like, I guess I'll pull the jib out and see if I can get myself loose. And then I kind of like swim around. First, I like swim around and try to sort of push the boat back and forth in the mud, get it out, and then I pull the jib out. I get it all like tangled up, but it kind of pulls me out. And then
Is that like pulling the sail out?
yeah, the front sail, um, because the other sail's not set up at all. And then I pull myself out and try to like retangle it back together, and then I just drift across the lake to where there's some other sailboats anchor up there, and then It, I could run the motor consistently, but the generator doesn't work. I should have probably bought a generator when I got down there, but I was like, I'll just motor cross and fix it later. Um, so then I took the little kayak off the front, went to town. I got some tools, tried to fix the generator for the night, but I was kayaking back, and the cops were stopped around these other sailboats, the boat police, and I was
Yeah,
like,
boat patrol.
yeah, checking them out because I didn't realize at first, like some of the boats out there were, the guy said he'd been sailing and cruising for 5 years, which isn't homeless, but it's not, depending on who you are,
Mm,
it's not exactly van life, you know?
yeah.
There was like a half, their dinghy was half inflated and kind of half submerged and full of trash bags, and there were like tarps all over the boat. But anyway, I
Trash
paddle.
boat, trash boat.
Yeah, I paddle up to the cops, and I was like, "All right, that's my boat over there. I'm really sorry, I got it stuck. I'm gonna try to get it out." And they're like, "Well, we're just talking to him. We'll we'll figure it out with you tomorrow." And then he offered to help me. So I went back. I tried to fix my generator, and I went in. I tied the pull cord back together. I pulled on it. I broke it again in a different place. So then I went and asked for help, but then they got their dinghy out, and which was very nice of them, good people. Um, and tried to push me across, but the marina I'm getting in, uh, they don't. I think it would have been fine if they'd pushed me in the right place, but they don't dredge out in front of it, so the sand's kind of built up, and we just got stuck again because it wasn't like the high tide. Um,
Damn.
so then they just pushed me back. I anchored up and then just slept like sporadically and to check that I wasn't like drifting farther and my anchor was holding. And then I went back, or in the morning, tried to fix the generator again. And they were like, and then started figuring out what I was gonna do. And they kept being like, "Oh, we'll just push you over there. We could push you over there later today." But the tide was even lower, so I finally just called the towing people, which I should have done from the beginning. Very simple process. And yeah, they came over and they towed me in, and yeah, now I'm in there. Now I'm towed in. I think that's the whole thing.
How stressful is it conning a boat?
It's pretty stressful. I don't think it has to be if you did the proper
Maneuvers?
yeah, and the
But
proper
I just meant
training
like
and
that.
education. But
It's
I
probably
didn't.
definitely
I just had to go for it because and I think I feel better now than I would if I didn't have a plan and didn't have a things I needed to do and take care of. And I was just like, I guess I'll just keep doing this and quit my job in a little bit and figure it out then. But I feel better about things, but
nice.
there could have been better moves probably than just saying, just being at work and deciding I'm gonna bid on the boat today. I can't take it anymore.
That's how I get, dude. That's why I drop these jobs. I just get cagey.
Yeah.
But dude, that's crazy. That's a crazy adventure you just told us about.
Yeah, I think it's good to do once in a while though,
I
because
feel like that would be extremely stressful. It's not like driving a stick shift for the first time. It's like
yeah.
conning an actual
And
boat.
I'm glad I went a little big, but I went on as far as boats you'd want to like single hand. It's 35 and a half feet, so it's a little bit on the bigger end.
Got the
But
Cadillac.
yeah, yeah. 1975 North Star. So I think it's an old boat. It's a chunker, but I think it's solid. And
Nice.
they go for a lot more, so I no longer have any
So
bitcoins or assets, but I
I
do.
got a boat.
I have assets, right? I have a home now. But yeah.
Is it like a houseboat? No, I'm just kidding. Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna live on
pretty
it. That's the
spacious.
plan.
Pretty
Yeah.
spacious.
Yeah.
Dang.
Got everything except a shower, and they got that in the marina, so cheaper than renting by a lot.
Yeah. So how far did you have to get towed?
Like 5 minutes, which is
Oh, no.
luckily because if you just get the regular insurance and not like a towing subscription or pay for towing, they'll just take you to basically the closest place, unless your options are both really close.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I do think it's good to do once in a while though, because like I think the only other time I've really been in a position like that was when after high school I just was driving around wondering what to do and my car broke down in Jacksonville. And I was just in that, or my brakes went out. And I was just in that gas station parking lot trying to fix my brakes for those like 2 days. And normally I would, you know, call my parents or, which I called people and asked for advice, but normally I'd be complaining and putting things off. But when you're actually in a situation like that you don't have help and is more black and white, it's kind
Yeah.
of it's kind of good for you because you almost can't stress out about it. Like you're stressed out for sure, but you can't really stress about it as much. You just have to keep taking action on it. And it's kind of crazy to realize what you can get done when you don't at first think you can, what you can get done in a couple days when you actually need to.
Right.
And
Or,
two, and then you can try to, you know,
yeah. It's like when we
take
got
take that
stuck.
into the rest of life. Oh yeah, it's
It was
trying to
like
get up to the skinwalkers.
it wasn't as bad as that, but we're just like, okay, well, if we just shovel the snow and drive out of here, like that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
So she's like, you just kind of do it. But like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
one.
We weren't really as like stranded. It's not like we ran out of gas up there
Yeah.
or
But
anything, but
still, that's one of those situations too where like I remember getting a little worried and then you go, "All right, what's going to happen here?" Like we're not going to die. I have a heater in
yeah.
the back of the truck. We're somewhat prepared.
It's like
Um,
what do I have to do to fix this? Like that's the only thing on your mind because you don't have
yeah.
to be all worried about it because it's like, well, I'm just gonna try whatever I can do. It's like yeah, I don't know. Like you realize you have to take action and just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
crazy. Ah, I
And
forgot what I was
then
gonna say.
sometimes I don't know the right way to look at it. Like maybe it's we're just here in a purely physical world dealing with I don't know,
Wait,
dealing with math problems. But out there on the boat a little bit with all the stuff that kept happening to me, I kind of felt like I went out there and did something, and the universe or God, whatever, was just checking me a little bit, and was like,
yeah.
"Make sure you got a couple backup plans next time." Like, all
And give
right,
give you a good life
I'm
lesson.
testing you, I'm letting you off, testing you, I'm letting you off, but
Yeah.
you better be
Let this be a
prepared.
lesson.
Yeah,
That's crazy. I need to do more adventurous stuff like that, dude. I need to put myself out there.
yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean, soon as
I'm
I,
super tied down though.
yeah,
I don't know.
uh, it might take a little bit because I think I'm just gonna be getting a job, saving up money, and doing some repairs and actually learning how to sail. But once I do, maybe this winter or later this fall, let me know and might start doing some short little hops along the coast and figuring out
Might have to, dude.
building up my capabilities. If anybody wants to come out for a little bit and
That'd be sick.
you know
Might
test
just
their
have
skills.
might just have to make that happen.
Yeah, but
I don't know. I don't think I'm prepared, but try.
ah
I've been too comfortable, too cush. I don't
yeah.
know. I've always
No one's really prepared, I think. I think the best way to start something, you just
gotta
got to start
fucking
something. Sometimes, I mean, it is good to like really be prepared if you can, but sometimes, you gotta go trial by fire. You gotta get out there. That's sometimes I think about it and I get a little like disappointed. I'm like, dang, I lost all this money and I'm not really like physically and as far as of what I've attained that way. It
mm,
doesn't seem like I'm that far ahead in life, but it's like, ah, I feel like a lot of it is just gaining experience points. There's a lot of ways you can play the game, and
yeah.
you know, if you can take those losses and take those tests as experience points, that that can
That's a
be
currency in
even
itself.
worth a lot more. Yeah.
No, definitely, dude. Experience is like it's what I need. It's what I'm lacking. I don't have any experience. I'm too I don't know,
Well,
dude.
there's experience everywhere.
Yeah.
Like
I guess I'm getting
just
experience in
working different jobs and stuff and being
hmm
around different kinds of people. That's what I think about a lot that I was have been lucky to have is to be around people that I really don't like what they're doing and to notice the
yeah,
patterns and the similarities between those people and and also see the patterns and similarities in people that I do really respect what they're doing and
right.
yeah.
That's fair. No, I definitely get that. I don't know. I feel like I project too much like of I don't know, of ah, damn, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, dude, that's fucking wild that you had to go through that.
Yeah. It
Pretty cool though.
was yeah. It like looking back it'll be cool, but at the moment I was like I went way too far. I fucked up. I'm in over my head, but then you just sort it out.
Just
Anyway,
work it out. It's fine.
there it is.
Damn.
I didn't know its name was Munchkin, but I'm okay with that.
That's all right. You're not
Anyway,
gonna rename it?
I was trying to find something else. I could. I just don't know what I'd rename it.
Yeah. The
Munchkin's pretty
glorious
good.
future. The glorious future.
Yeah. Actually, that would be good. I could put that logo up on it
Yeah, SS glorious future.
on the back. Yeah. I like that. I might save that for a special once we start building our fleet.
Yeah.
Once I might save that for one of our, for a more formidable boat.
Yeah.
One of our like top. Let's see.
I remember I was telling Connor a couple of weeks ago, I was like, yeah, Roan's getting a boat. I was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna buy this boat. He's like, oh, dude, that's pretty cool. He just couldn't believe it for a second.
Yeah, I've just been
Like,
feeling it for a while.
that's fair. Dude, boat life
Time
sounds
to
pretty
get out
cool.
there on the high seas, start seeking my
Boat life,
fortune.
boat life is pretty base compared to like van life. I feel like,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as like you know, you get to test yourself and really work with reality a little bit if you really
right.
get out there. Trying
That's
to
what I need
find
to do.
this thing Vinny Paz posts little paragraphs of wisdom on his story, and I save them all because they're pretty good. They're all pretty good, but there's one particular I was looking for. Okay, here it is. I was just thinking about this recently when we've been talking about, having performance-based, not results-based goals. Um,
Hmm.
anyway, here's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs solve the problem. Oh, wait, let me redo that. Here's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs solve the problem. Let me redo that.
Is that not what it says?
That's not what it
That's
says. I
not,
read it wrong again.
oh
All
my-
right. All right, let me get
that
focused.
doesn't make any sense.
Here's the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs solve the symptom. Professionals solve the problem. Amateurs think in absolutes. Professionals think in probabilities. Amateurs think disagreements are threats. Professionals see them as opportunities to learn. Amateurs have a goal. Professionals have a process.
Swag.
Anyway, I thought that part especially hit with trying to have a process and
Yeah, I like the
develop
last
and
part.
refine a process for life instead of just having goals and random things you're checking off. Um,
Yeah, just like a checklist. It's like if you don't do it, if you don't hit that, it throws the whole thing off.
yeah,
Like
instead
more
of,
more substance to the goal.
yeah,
Yeah,
and not just seeing it as the goal, but seeing getting to that goal and
as
attempting
the
to
most.
accomplish
Yeah.
something as just another learning experience to
Hmm.
refine and get a bet get a better strategy and
Yeah.
process and principles for life. Because sometimes I wonder if maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is just I don't know, the universe
Yeah.
refining and making itself better.
I think we both said it in the past is like this there isn't like a huge end goal for this. Like what we're talking about is more of a everyday thing that you do and like a way of being more than an A to B. Because it's not about the A to B, I guess is kind of what you're trying to say. It's like the journey.
Yeah.
That's really what's important about trying to reach a goal is that you grow to get to that goal. And so you have to like kind of get what you're no, I definitely get what you're saying. I keep saying I definitely get what you're saying. Fuck, dude. It's been too long since I've done a podcast.
This is
But
like a warm-up podcast.
yeah,
Things
this
are
is a
really
warm
gonna
up.
heat up
We're just shooting
once
around.
we get set up this
Nothing
summer.
nothing nothing from the three yet. We're just laying them up, passing.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh it's well just setting like a crazy or random or just a goal in general. You have to focus more on the growth to get to that goal. That's really the important part. It's not achieving it. It's that you're like pulling yourself up by your bootstraps to do it, kind of. It's a preparation and like a transformation. Come out the other side as a new person, not just because it worked out or it didn't work out, but that you know tried and learned something. That's the more
Yeah.
important. something I want to say earlier kind of skipped my mind, but a strong and steady ship will weather the seas of chaos.
Yeah.
You just gotta stay strong and steady. You just can't freak out,
Yeah.
especially in a situation where it's dependent on you to figure it out and do it.
Yeah.
You can't just freak out and be a baby about it.
That's the other thing that some of those situations have made me realize it's like you only freak out when you have the opportunity to,
Yeah,
really. Um, 50 Cent has a thing about that in I read that book,
I
Hustle
need to
Harder,
read.
Hustle Smarter.
Yeah, I need to read
And
that book where he talks about drinking fake champagne in the club.
yeah, yeah, it just basically all marketing. Um, but what does he say? Oh, it's like when kid falls and even if they're not really hurt, if their parents are around, they'll start crying,
Yeah.
or depending on how the parent reacts. But if nobody's
Mhm.
around, they'll usually pick themselves up and figure it out. Or if their parents just like, oh, come on, get up.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so it's kind of the same way. Like I'd notice myself do that in real life. So I don't know. That's why I went down there and I was like, all right, I'm not really gonna tell anybody I'm doing this. I just gotta deal with this myself. Also because if it didn't work out and things went terribly wrong or it was a scam or something, I was gonna feel really embarrassed. But
I get. That's how I get too.
yeah,
Uh, if it's something I really care about, I usually try not to tell anybody because I'm like, I don't know
yeah,
if this is gonna happen. But that's fair. I don't know. Um, I need to do more stuff like that though. Take a risk, take a chance, get some experience.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Also, when I do stuff like that, I haven't really thought about this before. I think I'm less inclined to gamble in the stock market. I think that's when I hit my low a couple years ago. I just took a couple L's in real life and I was in a position where I could get comfortable and I could just sit in my apartment and gamble on the stock market and slowly lose everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and
that's the difference between living in the
that
physical
was
and
my
the
stimulus.
metaverse.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the
And I had to make the decision when the bid went up, do I want to hold on to my digital assets or do I want to actually make real life stuff happen? Not that
right.
uh, I do think having those assets in large amounts in the future is going to be very important, but do I want
And in the
to hold
context,
500 bucks of Bitcoin or do I want to buy this boat and, move forward in life? And also, because I just heard Camel talking about something that week too that helped me, where he was talking about his brother, um, who bought all his Bitcoin so he could buy a house, and now he's going, well, maybe I'll just hold it all for another couple years, and then I can buy a house, and then I
yeah,
can just
putting it
hold on to
off,
half of it. But it's like, yeah, do you
not
want to
wanting to
keep?
let go.
You got to remember why you did it in the first place, not so you could just be a trader and just watch the number go up, but so you could actually improve your life, move out of your mom's house, and, you know, move forward with things.
Like realize your gains
Yeah.
and
And
yeah.
also, you know, I, I gotta notice how I feel when I buy versus when I sell more. Because when I buy, I always feel like, ooh, like this is exciting. There's a little possibility that I make $1 million. And then when I sell, it's like, feels good, but it also feels kind of like, oh, am I missing out? When it should just be like,
Exactly, yeah.
I shouldn't be emotional about it because that stuff's not, I don't know, that stuff's not emotional about me. You gotta be kind of indifferent to that stuff. And
Yeah.
you gotta take out, you gotta think more in, like Vinny Paz said, in probabilities. Um, because I don't believe it's going to happen, but there's a probability that Bitcoin never makes new highs. And if you have the opportunity, maybe you should take some out and do some real life stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
That being said,
Bars, that's
though,
swag.
um, yeah,
Because especially tying your emotions to it, that's the total opposite of what you want to do with that. Especially something that's not real like that.
yeah,
Tying emotional energy to something that doesn't care about you at all. That's purely just like a slot machine with a couple extra steps,
right.
and
Yeah,
feeling like emotionally attached to the screen.
it's kind of crazy to think about how that, I don't know how that happened, you know, where you have the stock market that's, you know, was like real professional trading people. And then all of a sudden, when things, things start to get crazy and there's money in marketing gambling to people who want to think they're smart.
Yeah,
And all of a sudden there's, Robin Hood. And I mean, I guess
yeah.
this happened back in the 20s too, when there'd be, or back in,
It
whenever
just
the other
happens
bull markets were.
as time
Yeah,
goes on, and
there's,
that it shifts with the culture because everyone wants to be a millionaire, everyone wants to be a TV star.
yeah.
So, do you hear about Streamer University? It's just a bunch of ignorant ass people, and then like this one huge streamer guy is like teaching them how to be streamers or something.
Yeah,
Like people just so hungry for wanting to be a star or something. So I don't know. I think is uh there's more information like being passed around and more people know about it. It's easier for people to get the illusion that they can rise up to this goal. It's this crazy goal. It's like
yeah,
I want to be the next top streamer. It's like these people have been like groomed into that position and under weird extreme circumstances and like one in a million chance. It's like not everyone's going to be the next fucking Jeff Bezos or the next fucking whatever whatever they want to be. And
yeah,
that ties in with the stock market. It's like everyone wants to be everyone wants to be rich. So and once you get that much attraction to something, it just gets ruined. There's the scumbags come along,
yeah.
and that goes along
Or,
too with
or
that goes
that's how
along.
you get a good Ponzi scheme going. Maybe that's the
Yeah,
point of it.
yeah. But still, as the masses,
Yeah,
they don't want to be the
especially,
masses anymore. There's too much like individuality with that kind of stuff. I
yeah.
guess like I don't know, but
Well,
that's kind of like what I was saying earlier. We've taken the cult out of culture. You know, people these big questions are now fully
hmm,
material and within like physical. It's either physical or it's the metaphysical like simulation.
yeah,
It's no
and
longer
it's
it's no longer the ethereal or like the universe or the heavens or anything. It's you got it in the palm of your hand now. You don't need to worry about that shit because it's all in the palm of your hand now.
yeah,
And everyone believes that they can, I guess, transcend that through technology, wanting to be, I don't know, seem like the gods of today are actual people. And it's less it's less praying to a higher being that you can't see, but it's these people in your life that you believe can help take you out of your situation, or you could become one of those people, become like a messiah of this modern age. That's like Donald Trump,
yeah,
please save us. I keep referencing that because I don't know, it's Donald Trump, please save us. Is uh
yeah.
it's not just Donald Trump either. It's everything. There's something I was listening to today. It's an audiobook by Henry Rollins called Everything. It's 10 parts, but a lot of what he covers is it's really dismal and he goes off track a lot into these like weird kind of rants and scenarios. But I definitely agree with a lot of what he's saying as to where it's like people are just too involved with the everything that we have in the physical. It's not really about God or anything, but it's hard for me to
Who's
explain.
who's that?
Henry Rollins.
I
And
feel
this
like
is a
I've heard
guy,
of him.
yeah, he was the lead singer for Black Flag.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, this is a
Hmm.
guy. I love his stuff. I have two signed books. I have two the same. It's the same book. I bought two of them. They're signed.
Nice.
It's fucking. I don't know how I bought two of them. I think I got one of them for free. But
Nice.
either way, I'm getting off track. Um,
Yeah. I
I wish
think
I listened to the whole thing today, and then I drove home and was listening to some other stuff. So now I kind of don't have it fresh in my mind. But there's a lot of good quotes in there.
What was it?
It's called Everything by Henry Rollins. It's on
Everything.
yeah, it's a 10-part audio book. The part 10 is just like a jazz track. But
Mm.
yeah, let's go to but yeah, I implore especially like you to listen to it because I feel like you'll get it. A lot of it like he gets off topic and kind of starts going on these weird fucking rants, but when he gets back to like there's good paragraphs in there.
Yeah. That is, I'll have to go back and find the actual quote. Um, but it is interesting what you're saying with everybody wanting to be known as like a special person, individual, not as just developing their full potential and who they're supposed to be as an individual. Um, because there's a part in the Book of the Law where Crowley's talking about, you know, we went through this maternal aeon, the paternal aeon, and now we're in, which I forget what the what
The paternal Aeon?
yeah, what there were Egyptian gods that correlated to that. The the mother goddess and the father, and then now we're in the age of Horus, the child, where the individual will be seen as the unit of society, something to that effect. Um, but
Hmm.
it is, I don't know if that ties in a little bit with what's happening.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to research what the Aeon of Horus implies.
It's
What's
just,
planned out for us. I kind of forgot about all that stuff.
yeah, yeah. I haven't read through it in a long time unless I become a center of pestilence, I think is what he said. You're not supposed to read it too much or else it gets you and you
Possessed.
become Aleister Crowley, yeah. You start doing gay shit in the desert, shooting heroin.
That's what he was doing.
Yeah. Among
Dang.
other things. I don't even know.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, some of his other works are really fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Talking about
and
this is
then
like talking about like baby sacrificing and stuff.
oh, was that was in the I haven't I haven't read into that, but I remember that in the those documentaries,
I guess not in like yeah
the
from
Mouthy Buddha documentaries where he was
yeah
tying it in with who Crowley's possible descendants are, because that gets
yeah
really weird when you go, oh, here is this kind of magician, weird guy that did all this stuff, but it's kind of out there. There's probably nothing to it, and then you go, oh, it looks like people who might have descended from him and his workings are now in major places of power doing
right
some of the most evil things you can think of.
yeah.
So,
This goes back to like this. It's a club and you're not in it.
yeah.
But it's like yeah, Um, I don't know if there's anything we could really do about that though. That's the powers that be, honestly. In the in our physical heaven that we've created, that's the powers that be, the gods of this uh the, the three-dimensional world. But
Yeah.
we just get
Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's so crazy to just look at life and that's another thing. in the book he talks about is just seeing the everything that we have, especially in American society, and just being kind of disgusted with it because it all is really disgusting. If you think about it, the culture, like I can drive 90 miles per hour and fucking that I don't know where I was going with that. I was thinking about that earlier. Never mind. But you just the gas station food, the fucking billboards, like
Yeah.
towns falling apart. And then you go to a place like Idaho Falls and it's just people have idealized this suburban lifestyle and this consumer lifestyle to where it's that taking the coal out of culture. That is people's entire lives. And like, I don't know, Christianity has been so numbed down and dumbed down to where like, I don't know, especially
You
growing.
will live in an airport and be happy. That's what I was
Yes.
thinking about. I was going through the airport. I was like, this is their new plan.
Do you think that's what
They want
they,
everything to be like an airport. And they want
yeah,
everyone just to wander around these little mazes with
just
these
be
every
so
time I'm in
confused?
an airport, I feel like I'm confused and I feel like there's frequencies or like some sort of electrical shit going through me all the time because I'm like I just feel different in here
Just
and
like,
there's fucking The Daily Show or like sports playing and all these
yeah,
little like and all these little like perfect little restaurants and stores, and you're like, I don't know what to do here. I'll plug my phone in. I'll buy things.
yeah,
I'll go to the next gate.
yeah. Crime, sports, weather, war. Crime, sports, weather, war. That's just
Yeah,
all you
yeah,
think about is just, I can't wait to watch CNN tonight.
yeah.
I can't wait to eat a $40 hot dog in the airport.
And live vicariously through Donald Trump or my hatred for him.
Yeah, live vicariously through whatever the fucking narrative is they're running. It's, I don't know, it's everything's been so numbed and dumbed down. Like Christianity is honestly just like a book. Like especially Christians who go to church every day, like the most they think about it is a book or like oh, just good morals, be nice to people, go to charity events, teach your
Yeah,
kids about it, it's bedtime stories, but like not even asking any questions about it. Like the thing I sent you from Ezekiel, the first chapter in Ezekiel, the first paragraph in Ezekiel is like uh steeped in numerology. Like there's a reason. Should I read it? Maybe
yeah.
there's a
It's
reason,
there's so much weird
and
stuff in there.
and you can. I remember going to like church and Sunday school and stuff, and they're just like all the numerology stuff and like all the whatever. And if you try to ask about revelations, like 140,000 whatever, like oh, that's just numbers. They just put it in there. That's not really anything you should worry about. And then you start questioning, and it's like, oh my God, God's not actually the real God. Angels are demons, and we live like you know in the fucking the demiurge. That's something I haven't. Okay, but anyways, this is the first verse. Now it came to pass in the 13th year in the fourth month on the fifth day of the month. I was among the captives by the river Chebar, that the heavens were opened up, and I saw visions of God. On the fifth day of the month, which was in the fifth year of the king Jehoiakim's captivity, of the Lord came expressly to Ezekiel the priest. Whatever, but it's like the 13th year, the fourth month, and the fifth day.
I,
Like,
yeah, I go, why would that be put in there if
I guess maybe
there
it's like,
wasn't a reason for it?
but that was the first
If it was
thing,
just useless information.
yeah, that might be chalked up to just trying to date it because it was such a profound experience.
Right,
But
right.
then
It
we
could
will,
definitely be that, but there's
uh, we'll go to the the fifth verse here. Also from within it came the likeness of four living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Each one had four faces. Each one had four wings. Their legs were straight. Their souls, yeah, whatever. But like four faces goes on, and then you go to Revelations, and it talks about these creatures that have seven faces and seven like seven seals.
yeah.
But um, all this shit, like
And
on the first, second, third, the seventh day, God did this. Like it's once you have the context behind some of this stuff, it is kind of strange.
I feel like there is something to it, and maybe there's
Mm.
not, but at least we're asking the why questions, not just like, how did this happen? Go through it. Here's what we'll tell you it means. But I I do feel like that's the Atlantean way of thinking, is combining that as one thing at the same
Yeah.
time asking the how and the why questions.
Well,
Because I
even
feel
just
like
to
that's what school is, that's what church is a lot of the time. It's going through, it's listening to the thing, it's
and
remembering
just nodding
the
your head.
words, and yeah, writing down the definitions on the worksheet. It's not really
Exactly.
asking the why questions.
Yeah,
Um,
I used to have like an actual like Bible study plan. Like it was like schoolwork. It was like homework, and I had to like remember verses and stuff. It's like I've
yeah.
fried my brain so bad now that I don't remember them and shit. But like it was something that you had to do,
And that
and
doesn't really give you
but
well,
it's
I don't think it gives you
yeah,
the true meaning of it.
yeah, just to do homework on this kind of stuff. But it's like if you really think about it, the history of the church, it was like think about it like the Jewish people and the history of the Jewish people. It's like these are the Christians. Like God, like Jesus only like really preached to the Jewish people at the start,
Mm.
and then after he died, the apostles split up and went to Asia
The
and Europe.
Are we talking about the true Jews, the Irish, or are we talking about the
Oh,
black Israelites or the Shmoleys? Who are we talking
uh,
about here?
no, we're talking about, dude. I don't even know what a black Israelite is, but I know who they are, but I don't know what they are.
They're just
That's
people that
how,
yell at you on the street.
yeah, that's like black Scientology. Like it's not real; it's just a joke.
I'm getting more and more into Scientology. I'm like, this is legit. I respect it as
Really,
a technology. That's what I'll say. That's
I
what
re
that's what Billy said one time, and I was like, I agree with that. I do respect it as technology. I want to join for a little bit and just see what it's all about and like get some knowledge, but then if I try to leave, they're gonna sue the fuck out of me. They're gonna Mission Impossible to me. Have you ever seen Mission
yeah.
Impossible 2? I watched that movie. I said this is the greatest
Did they
movie of all
kill
time.
they
I
kill
want to
Tom
be in
Cruise?
Scientology.
That's
No, he
yeah, dude.
survives. There's a new Mission Impossible coming out.
Do you think they funded Mission Impossible too? The Church of Scientology?
They might have. They funded the new Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Scientology's they're gaining traction. They're a major
Okay.
player now.
I think the Black Israelites are just like an anti-white movement, so we're just gonna move on from them. I think
Oh,
what who the true
I thought they
Israelites?
believed that they were the true Israelites.
Yeah, but the new Black Panther Party also is just like a black supremacy group. So every like I don't know, the Nation of Islam is now just like a pretty much a black supremacy group.
Okay.
I'm as far as like the majority of like new members and stuff. But I do want to clarify. I don't think that the original Black Panther Party is tied into the new Black Panther Party because they are not. They do not fuck with each other.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't know. It's like just look kind of look past it is like how you said we got to question the why. So it's like why is there only the 33 books or the 66 whatever it is books of the Bible?
Yeah.
And like you got to think there's how long like when like the death of Christ all the way up into now how many church reforms there was, how many libraries got burned, all the things that we lost, and it's like what they thought like it was so political that it's like they would just write they would just write lies about each other just to be like these guys they're heretics or whatever, they don't know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
so that they could push their like it was almost like a political party of what they thought was the canon of the Bible, like the stuff they wanted to include. I
Hmm.
don't know. I've been questioning that a lot, and it's like the the cult. I don't know the what we've created and how like what information is actually allowed to be taught to people. Is it really like is it really what we need to be looking into, or is
Yeah.
there something past that?
It feels like I went to church when I first got to Bellingham.
Hmm.
Um, my girlfriend wanted to go to church. I think it was like a Presbyterian church. So I went there and I mean, I get you have church out for like community or whatever, but it just felt
Hmm.
so like dumbed and doled down.
It's just
Like
a club. It's just a like
you're in
coffee
this
club.
huge like amazing building, and you could see like they had all the instruments up here, and I'm like, this really used to be something. Like
Yeah,
even a couple hundred years ago, or especially when it first started, if you had these
yeah.
amazing buildings you were making, and you had all these people gathered here, and you were reading through these things, and probably with people who really thought about the why questions and were really discussing them, and then you had
Mm.
music, and you were going up there,
Yeah.
and you were having the
It
body,
was an it
which
was an
is
actual
probably,
experience.
yeah, I don't know. I need to look into it more, but the sacred mushroom and the cross, I want to look into that more because I just have a feeling that's what the body of Christ was. I have a
Yeah.
feeling you'd go up in in church way back at the start, and you'd have your little
Slept you a little psilocybin,
yeah, that's
something
that's
like
what the
that.
wafer originally was.
It's
That would
just like
make
a it's
sense.
just
That's what the glorious future church is. You go up there and it's really
yeah.
it's really a experience, and you're trying to delve in and figure out what it's all about. Uh,
It's the difference between Bible thumping religion and deep religion. So something this is video
yeah,
is a couple videos as a series how to start a cult, and where I kind of got this whole idea to look deeper is that people no longer have like a even if you go to church, it's not like you really have. I'm saying not for everybody, but it's
the
turned into
first
this.
20
It's
minutes is
it's just
just
talk.
apologizing to gay people. At least if you go to church, at least
Yeah,
if
it's
you go to church,
backpedaling. It's backpedaling.
yeah.
Okay,
Which,
guys.
okay, I understand they should do that a little bit, but every week for like 10 minutes,
At the start,
yeah.
yeah,
There's somebody in there with a mask. I'm going, yeah, you know, what is what
it's
is what is what happened? This was supposed to be a place for patriots. If it wasn't going to be a place for for the body of Christ,
I think because it's like
church is
people,
going to be doled down. It's also going to be gay now. What is
yeah.
happening?
I'm not. Oh, dude, I saw a gay pastor the other day. It was a stud pastor. I don't know what.
I
Yeah, it
like
was
that. I
a
like
stud
that.
pastor. I don't know, dude. Because it's like then it's really just a club where you come hang out for a little bit, drink some coffee, eat some cookies, talk to your friends. Oh yeah, we'll sing a couple songs and then we'll go to breakfast. That's the majority. I think that's how the majority of people really feel about church. Instead of
Yeah.
it's like, no, this is a place where you should like, I don't know, maybe have some sort of experience out of it, leaving some sort of emotion, and instead of just like, oh, I feel good now. Everyone's really nice here, and I mean that's important for a community. It's like, oh, everyone's really nice. I get along with
Yeah.
da da da
You
da
need
da,
an
all
old
that shit.
lady to tell you
But
you need
that's
to
not what
get
it's
your life
about.
together at coffee hour.
Yeah, that's not what it's about, though. It's not about. Well, it's not about like old people jabberjawing about nonsense, about nothing. It's like you got to leave that place feeling like you actually had an experience. You got to be brought to
Yeah.
tears almost. I feel like that should be the. I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's supposed to be like the church. If church was at least to the level that we saw in Blues Brothers at the black
Yeah,
church, I would go. I'd be
yeah,
there.
dude. Well, even then, dude,
That's
black
real.
churches,
They're reaching
black
into a
churches
higher
just
power
hoot.
there.
Black churches just hooting and hollering core. Redacted. Let's maybe lose that part of the tape, but I don't know. I mean,
What's
yeah.
hootin' and hollering, core?
Oh, that's what Izzy Griffin said about that one guy. He was like standing in like a circle of people, just like stomping his feet, strumming a guitar, singing
I,
about fucking just hooting and hollering. But like,
yeah.
I feel like some people actually do have an experience that makes them want to hoot and
I think
holler,
he was
but
just making
most of it
making
is like,
fun of that guy because he was white and hooting and hollering though.
yeah.
Was that what it was?
Well, he's just hooting and hollering. He wasn't singing a good song. He was thumping his
Oh,
guitar.
okay.
He was
It
like
was
thumping
just
his
hooting and
guitar.
hollering. There's nothing to it.
Yeah,
I
I
see
could
it.
pull up. Should I pull up the clip?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can tell for me. You can tell me if it's hooting and hollering core. We got off. Yeah,
I know maybe I misjudged it and it was just because it was Hooten Hollencore, not because he was white. But I watched Sinners recently and I I apparently am racist.
you watched Sinners? Why? Isn't that the movie everyone thought Jordan Peele made just because it was a black horror movie?
Did
Or did he
Jordan Peele
actually
made
make
it?
it?
I think it was somebody
Probably, dude.
else.
He's the only. Who
It
else
was
was
somebody
making
else.
black horror movies? Yeah, but everyone thought it was Jordan Peele though.
Mm, yeah.
Oh,
Basically,
Michael B. Jordan.
yeah, it was really
No, he didn't
profound and
direct
it
it.
had a really clear message and basically like black people make really good music that the vampires like, but Irish people's music is like pretty good. The vampires like it, but it's like not as good. It's like and also um basically back then everybody got along. The Koreans and black people, obviously, because they always get along.
Yeah, they
And
love each
then
other.
the Cherokee Indians, they were down there. The Cherokee Native Americans, they were down there too. And they were trying to stop the white vampires,
And then
but
the
they
big
let
evil white
one
man came
one
over.
white vampire in, and they ruined everything.
Does
And
Jordan Peele have sex with a white vampire?
I pointed it out, and now I'm racist. Yes, Jordan B. Peterson has sex
Does
with
he
a
have sex
white
with a white woman?
vampire, and that's how it all starts.
He has
And then
sex
the
with a white woman?
vampires get them all. Yep, that's
Yes,
how it.
dude. That's so cool. That's so funny.
And then she kills them. All become vampires.
Does he get punished for
Let
having
that
sex
be
with
a
a white
lesson to
woman?
you. I mean,
Dude, are we getting some Dr. Umar shit?
I mean, oh, you want to hear something? You want to hear something
Snow bunny
really?
alert. Snow
I
bunny alert.
I forgot about this. I don't know if it already happened, but I saw on Dr. Umar's Instagram he'll be debating Elon Musk's dad. I think it was tonight.
On what?
I don't know at some town hall or something. He's
You
gonna be there
cannot
with
let you
Errol
cannot
Musk
let
talking
these
about
white women
colonization.
pollute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't
That's all.
understand the. I don't know if the movie was trying to have a legit message. I don't know.
Any kind
If you
of any kind
watch
of
the actions in the movie, you would go, it looks like they're trying to say that the white people infiltrated and everything went bad. But
no.
then there's like nuances in the movie where they go, actually, some of you guys are all right. And, you know, the one white lady, she didn't mean to become a vampire, and she's like part black a little bit, so it's like cool. And, you know, she's like actually a good person, but
Everyone,
still
yeah,
ended up
it's kind of
killing
like It's
everybody.
kind of like American History X. Like at the end, he's like, black people are kind of cool, but he still murdered a couple.
Yeah.
Um, that's the
They're
thing.
like
They
white
have
people are some of them it's all right and we get their stuff too, but also you kind of
yeah,
ruined everything.
yeah. Some of you white guys, you code switch pretty good. So we fucks
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
I think any kind of like art house narrative has just it's so fucking stupid. Like any kind of I think I'm pretty sure I'm calling this an art house film, even though I don't know what it is, but it just gives me off the vibe of like art house film or whatever. I don't know who produced it.
And then I
But
was watching it at a theater in Bellingham of only white people, and I was just paying attention to what everyone had to laugh at. Like when the white people didn't have good music, they're like, "Oh, that's super funny."
that's
Yep,
me,
we don't
guys.
have rhythm. Ha 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 ha. Yep, I'm not racist at all. And then I said a couple things about it. I pointed out a couple things. I made a couple jokes, and I turns out I'm racist, guys. I'm sorry. But the other thing
White people are going extinct.
about the movie was that they had an obsession with now we're turning back away from a family friendly podcast, but I don't know what this I don't know what society, with the way society's going, the way that people just watch that with another group of people in a theater, um, I think I can talk about it. Um, they had an obsession. I can just say filleted again. Um,
Oh,
because I don't know if it's the same thing if it's to a woman, but they had an obsession with talking about that in the movie and with doing it. Uh,
going
not
south of the border where
yeah,
the
going
tuna
south
fish
of the
play.
border. Uh, yeah, they had there was it was overtly sexual, and it was felt to me it felt uncomfortable to watch, with a large group of people.
Just hearing about this movie, it just makes me hate the world. Like it reminds me of my hate for the world.
Yeah, but everybody, I felt like everybody kind of had to go along with it because they were like, that we
That's the
we get it.
conditioning.
It's politically correct. This is a good movie that shows, people struggle, and it
It's
shows
his standards.
the true history of what happened. Yeah,
I
it
don't
was a
know,
good
dude.
movie. It was
I
a
just,
good movie. Yeah.
yeah. You can't. This
I also
any
heard
kind of
I listened to Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast for a little bit, and I heard Shane talking about it. So maybe that also gave me some preconceptions about it, but I uh I think I would have come to the conclusions I came to now, and I think I still would have been racist. So it's crazy how that can happen. I went from, you know, you go depending on who you're talking to, you could be some people would say I'm an extremist Republican, some people have called me a libtard. So you just never know nowadays. And that's how
yeah.
you know that you're an extreme.
You
I think we're extreme centrists. I'm
yeah.
an extreme centrist. I believe that um secret
One sec.
societies in
One second
Israel
here.
run everything. It's a old Tim Dillon joke.
My bad, dude. My cat just knocked down this fucking plant.
Oh,
God damn, dude. I want
you're
to
good.
fucking.
Give this cat a nice home and even pet it. Give it lots of treats as well.
Anyways,
I needed a little break. I feel like I've been taking over a little too much. I
no,
just
you're
had a
good.
nap and finished off my coffee and
No, you're good. Um,
yeah.
but any kind of narrative being pushed by modern films and stuff is always just this like bullshit, like paper thin narrative that they always have to backpedal on as they're pushing it because they know it's just fucking stupid. It's like this new age, like I don't know. People are like, I think these ideas get pushed just because they're considered politically correct or like the way we should move. Kind of been corralled into this narrative where it's like, oh, if we want to be successful, we kind of have to follow this narrative or do this.
Yeah.
And so everyone just kind of agrees with it. And then even goes down to even the audience where it's like, oh yeah, we'll just eat this shit up because that's what we got.
It's changing though. Donald Trump said we're bringing Columbus Day back, so
I don't think
we're
that's a hill that we need to die on.
we're not gonna have
I
any
think
more
this,
DEI holidays except the ones for white people, particularly Jewish Heritage Month. Everything else, we're not doing any of that liberal shit.
yeah, this
And that
is,
was like a big thing. They came out and they're like, what's really important, we know what's really important to you guys, not having all this diversity, equity, and inclusion, except when it comes to Israel. Then we'll be posting nonstop because it's Heritage
yeah.
Month, guys.
I was listening through some old podcasts where he kept talking about what Joe Biden said about Israel. This is the best $3 billion investment we've ever made.
Yeah.
Look where that's gotten
Oh,
us,
yeah.
Joe. Look where we're at now, Joe.
Were there no Israel, the United States would have to invent in Israel to protect your interests in the Middle
Yeah,
East.
yeah. It's like you don't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist.
Yeah.
Being a
That's
Zionist,
inclusion, guys.
okay.
That's inclusion.
We went through the definition of being a Zionist, but it now includes giving 5 stars to movies like Sinners. If you do that, you're a Zionist. I won't go any further than that. If you give Sinners a 5 stars, you're a Zionist. That's how we'll know. I never watched it, but if you,
We could do. I guess maybe that's what I might just start doing that more. Just spreading misinformation. Just using definitions of words for other things as loosely as I can.
yeah, just not make any sense when you talk.
Yeah.
Just be talking about something totally different. That's just double speak.
Yeah.
I gotta learn
I
how to
think
car. I
that's
gotta learn how to car salesman talk.
yeah. Get into the art of war, you know? You gotta be if you're playing this right, you don't want people to know, if you're ever really serious about stuff or if
Yeah,
the serious stuff is a joke, the joke stuff is serious.
that's how you. That's how
We're
you.
moving, we're playing four-dimensional chess out here. We don't know
Yeah,
what we're talking about, guys.
that's what all the dumbass people who don't like. Sorry, but I'm saying like all the like the dumbass people who like don't understand anything. That's what they say about Sam Hyers. Like you never know if he's joking or not. Like yeah, that's why he talks like that. It's for you guys.
Yeah, I
You gotta
think
keep
that's the
you gotta
point.
keep people like that on their toes.
It's like
Like
how that is the ultimate move. It's like how, you know, a fool can play. A fool can't play a wise man, but a wise man can play a fool. And if you're really a wise
swag.
man, most of them end up, uh, the wisest usually play the fool. Norm Macdonald, Kodak Black.
Mm.
Um, and if you're
To
even
name to name
wiser,
a few.
if you're even wiser, you're a wise man that plays a fool that's playing a wise
A
man,
wise man.
which
Yes.
is what I believe Ye is doing.
That's great. That's
That's a
like third
full. That's
level.
a that's interdimensional chess right there.
That's like third level casino moves, dude.
Yeah,
But that's smart. I've never heard anyone put it that way, but yeah, you just gotta it's it's better. That's how you get more information out of people. Is like you act like you don't know what's going on.
right. That's something I've been thinking about a lot too. That was a little
Like
bit Vinny Paz
if you make if
correlation of wisdom
it's
there.
better
He's like,
it it's better to make people think you're a dumbass because they're not going to suspect you. It's like they're willing to tell you whatever because why wouldn't they?
yeah,
But it's in reality you're in the back of your mind plotting like, oh yeah.
and it's a good way to get your pulse on the disgusting public. Figure out where they're
Mhm.
moving, how we can use that. Anytime somebody you go, this guy does not know what he's talking about, but he thinks he knows what he's talking about. Let him talk. Let her talk.
Yeah.
You know, especially financially, that's been that's been really good because sometimes I'll talk about things and I'll find out about things and I'll figure, oh, everyone probably knows about this. Um,
But most
but
people are out
not a
here with
lot
a
of
second
people
grade
do,
reading level.
and yeah, and that's why things move the way they do. So next time, you know, instead of jumping in and like explaining how Bitcoin works, just let them go. See what people's opinions are on it. And
Yeah.
usually when people are like, I think it's going down, I think it's over, I think it's topped out, and you know that they don't really know anything about it, that's probably a good time to buy.
Yeah.
It's you can look for correlation in those areas.
Mm. That's the
Um,
retail.
Another thing you
Retail, when they
look
say
for in
retail, they
alignment.
mainly mean the disgusting public.
Yeah, exactly.
Because retail, they're always gonna the retails, the fucking
The dumb money.
the retards. Sorry, we cut that out, bleep that, redacted. We lost that part of the tape. But they're gonna be the precursor. They're gonna sell too early and they're gonna buy a little too late.
You can say it. You can say it now. Elon
Yeah,
Musk
I don't care.
legalized comedy. We're good.
Come on, guys. Yeah, wearing his white Stetson hat. It's so crazy to
Yeah.
me just to bust my ass all day, just to work hard. It's like just to think about this fucking shit is like, oh my God, what can I really do? How does this actually really affect me? But you have no other choice than to be disgusted with it or angry at it. Like you have to do
Yeah.
something. But it's I don't know. It's you just get corralled. Suburban internment, dude.
And then from there, you're like, all right, I'm gonna get out, You gamble, you lose all your money, and then from there, uh, eventually, I think you could find
Find the glorious future.
you could find yeah, you could find peace, and you could find or some sort of it, and
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do.
then you could see the never-ending point of the glorious future and start developing a process and a way of life
Yeah.
instead of some imaginary uh thing you're gonna break out into. And I
Hmm.
think we'll be surprised at how fast once the right strategies are developed and um the right approaches at how fast progress can be made. But
Right. Well, that's what goes back to you can't be too focused on the end goal of like there's not this big finale breakout revolution. It's just separating yourself from it day by day,
yeah,
you know. Uh,
because that's not what you want. That's just a repeat of what's been going on for who knows how many thousands of years.
mhm. What else was I gonna say? It's like I feel without the cast, I started to feel that way and just feel lost in it. It's like being like a martyr without a cause, just like suffering for no reason. But now that we're back on the cast, I feel like you pump me up a little bit. We're working
Yeah,
hard. I need to get back into working hard. I've been consuming all this information and stuff, but not really putting it towards anything. And that's the problem because then it's like you have all this. I'm gonna kill this cat. Hold on, real quick.
no, don't do it.
I just sprayed it with water.
Hey,
Sprayed it
we
with water.
warn
I don't want to.
people. This is a R-rated
Do you think I was
podcast.
actually gonna do it? Do you think I was actually gonna do it?
I had a little bit of my mind that would be like, maybe he is that fired up right now.
No, dude. I'm not gonna kill that cat. I can't. I love that cat, but it does piss me the fuck off, and it makes me wonder why I even have it.
Yeah.
What
Let's
was I
see.
saying? What was it? What was I saying?
Yeah, we're back. Anyway,
You
this
gotta,
is
yeah, I gotta get to work. I gotta get to
yeah.
work. I gotta work harder. I gotta be smarter. Sometimes, sometimes too is like I am so retarded, and I'm trying. I try not to be, and I try not to sound too, but that's usually when I sound more retarded. Like I take
Yeah.
myself too seriously. Like I'm too preachy.
But I feel like the podcasts have been way better since, at least on
Yeah.
my end
Sometimes
anyway, I've been
I
trying to
no.
have more of like a regular conversation and not trying to be like, all right, I'm here, I'm at the forefront of information, I'm sounding super smart. I'm
Yeah.
bringing all
Well,
this forward that I don't really understand, but
I
just
mean, all like some of the
trying to
old episodes.
understand it myself.
Yeah. That's what I need to do. That's the point I'm at now because I'm actually talking. Back in the old videos, I used to just fucking get too high and be like, yeah. I just sound like such
I
a
didn't
fucking
even know.
like I sound like a fucking half a Momo, half a fucking like I should be in an institution. Just getting too high and saying yeah, and then be like, oh yeah, maybe this too. It was so whack, so whack. But now it's like I start talking too much. I'm like, oh, you actually don't really have that much to say. Nah, I don't know.
No, you have some
I'm
good
feeling
stuff.
myself though. I'm feeling myself
What
though.
I feel like
I feel like I could be a like at least like like a cult leader. Maybe not like a pastor or something, but I could be a cult leader. I could get some people
yeah,
behind me. I don't know. That's the
in a
plan, dude.
positive way. If the
Not in
masses are
yeah,
truly only to be programmed, if it's only our programming, the programming they're under now, I would
just
hope
because
that
it's
we could wake people up. We could get people to not buy their culture, not buy their opinions, not buy their content and their
Mhm.
what they're getting, but develop a connection to their personal source. I mean, we're
Right.
always going to be, um, creatures that are going through the world and recycling information and making new things out of it. But I would hope that everyone does that on a somewhat individual level, um, from who they actually
Mhm.
are, and in small groups before it's just top down ways of ways of thinking and ways of
Yeah.
being and creating. And when you end up with the situation that we are in now, you don't really see a lot of people creating. You just see a lot of people copying and to trying to go to streamer university.
Yeah, trying to profit off of
But
copying. I was kind of
yeah,
falling into that a little bit before, like with not with the intros, but with like the clips and stuff. I was just like, we have to get big. I have to make this a business. We have to just no matter what, suck people in with like shorts, YouTube shorts and stuff, and I don't know,
yeah.
make it into a commodity. It's kind of weird.
I think it is good to I'm gonna start trying to promote it better still.
Yeah,
Um,
same.
and
Maybe
also
in a different
I
way.
looked up the podcast on YouTube, and what you're doing is the Glorious Future is definitely helping because I couldn't even find Seminary Podcast when I just looked it up on YouTube. I could
Mhm.
only find the Glorious Future, so I don't know if it
Maybe
shadowed
because I've been
me or
adding you. Yeah, or
yeah.
like
Anyway,
tagging you in
I need to
multiple
figure
posts.
out how to get the channel promoted better and able to and searchable, but
Yeah,
that
I
could have
think
been
that
a
might be
lot of the issue.
what the algorithm pulls from is like, oh, people are mentioning this account a lot. Maybe we should push it to the top.
Yeah. Maybe we could link our accounts too somehow. But
Yeah,
anyway, um
uh,
I forgot what I was going with that thing I was saying a minute ago, but I think we did it.
we did it.
And yeah, this is a good one. I feel like it's
This is a
good.
good one.
Sometimes I don't
It's good
feel
to
like
get
I
to.
have a lot going into it, but then it's like, all right, here's all my thoughts that I'm finally thinking out and thinking
Yeah,
through from the past month.
yeah,
And
because it's like
yeah,
it's not. I don't really talk about this stuff with too many other people, and if I do, it's usually just like really dumbed down. Like I'm not gonna get into this,
yeah.
but it's like
And
feels good.
especially in a way that's it's people um talking about the glorious future or whatever the thing is in a way that's just, letting the ideas be and, working with them and
Mm,
adapting them and not just being like, no, that doesn't fit with what's currently going on. Shut it
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Um, but that's something to go into later. Maybe we could just finish it off with I think I understand what you're saying with taking the cult out of culture, but if you could
Oh
just
no, I'm saying we got to put the
give
cult back into culture.
yeah, yeah. What's happened is that we've taken the cult out of culture.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But
I was like,
if you could just give your like definition of that,
you
because
want me to give it?
I
Oh
think
yeah.
I understand what you're saying with that,
People
but
people are really
for
disconnected
everybody
from.
else.
I'm not saying too like Christianity is like the truth and like the God you should be praying to, but I feel like people don't pray to a God anymore. To any kind of God, it's purely physical. It's we've taken like the deep religion, the people's deep connection with a higher power. We've, they've kind of separated themselves from it to where what we trust and what we put our energy into is these physical kind of demons rather than uh, a higher power. And that hurts the culture and it hurts our environment and it makes people like have less empathy, have less connection with each other through that deep
Right.
religion, and it
Yeah.
takes away their ability to come together as a community under uh, this. Because even with the modern church, it's a community based around donations and worldly acts and stuff, and it's less of people actually having a deep. They say it a lot, and they use these words that are very plain view, and they're like, what are those words? Buzzwords of to describe their spirituality, and it seems more like a presentation to other people and the community rather than the community actually having a deep connection through this being or through this idea of a God. And
Yeah.
there's these questions he brings it up. There's these questions. It's like, who am I? Where do I go when I die? Who should I be praying to? These are all really important questions, and they are something that it's not like the question has gone away, but when people ask it, they don't ask it in that way, and they don't think of it as there's something above them that they need to connect to answer that question. It's things within this world that help them figure that out. And it
Yeah.
leads towards, because I don't want to say that I have the complete truth on what is real and what is not real, but there is definitely beings above us and below us uh,
Right.
that work on different planes of existence, and whether that be represented through archetypes and people's personalities, or
Mm.
their needs for like their needs for destruction, or their needs for whatever, like what categories people fall into, because it is said that people do have a natural need for destruction, and destruction can work in any kind of sense in your life in different contexts. And so uh making that completely, like you talk to a shrink, a psychiatrist, rather than a spiritual teacher, someone who will help you get to the root of a problem in a different way,
Right.
rather than a chemical way, or a way that trans
A way that's just solving the symptom,
well, yeah,
possibly.
yeah, um getting to the symptom and not the root. You know what I mean? You're trimming all the branches off, but you're not killing the roots of the problem. Like mutilating your body, and taking chemicals as a young person to change your body and change things about that. Uh it's
Yeah.
taking these things. It's these human. It's like not
Damn.
really like that, but
Hmm.
it is a way out, and people see it as a way out of who they are, because they have these problems with themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know where their life is headed, what their purpose is. And instead of going towards that direction, it goes into a purely, this has to be a physical transformation. And that's just one example.
Yeah.
But cars and houses, and this idea, these cultures are all outside the reaches of spiritual teachings and spiritual practices. And so, like you said, it's the symptoms, just working on the symptoms, and it's these things that are like tiny explosions on the whole thing. But once you connect to that higher power, I feel like it's the big explosion that actually and this isn't 100% for everybody, but I think it does apply to a large group of people, and maybe a lot of people can connect to that. It's like
Yeah.
you have to look beyond everything that you think you know, especially with atheism. To say that you're okay, we come from monkeys, so you think your little stupid fucking monkey brain can understand the entirety of the universe, like through math and science. I don't know about that. Like I don't know if you can write off hundreds of years of different teachings, and the way that it's affected things. It's like, if there wasn't really a true Messiah or something, do you think that there would be huge? There wouldn't. There like I don't know. If we were completely secular, there was no religion, we would be so much technologically advanced. We'd be all happy and living in a utopia, IGY. But it couldn't actually be like that. And it's like, do you think there wouldn't be wars and political, like, and reformations to this thing if it wasn't real, and people didn't actually have it a change in their lives and have it become a large part of their life? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it can be fake just based on the way the collective consciousness felt about it, and the collective unconscious of these archetypes and the way people act. Um, just becoming more informed on, like, Christianity isn't about Bible thumping. I don't think. I think it's the starting line to something a lot greater. Like I said, it's the starting line for Western esotericism, is the Old Testament and the Jewish Kabbalah. Um, that's when you start getting into deeper things, and that's when you can find, you know, the questions that need to be asked, the whys. But yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Uh, and to be in the context of what this guy was talking about is to start a cult, you have to get people to agree on the three levels of God, which is the angels, the whatever, the Godhead is at the top. And usually you can get people to agree on the first one. I'll send the video to you. I don't want to get too much into it, just paraphrasing, but we can
Yeah.
talk about it more next time. Do a little bit more research. But yeah,
Nice.
that kind of sums it up. Is
Yeah.
it was just one example, really. I feel like I have a lot more to say about it. I'll write it down and I'll think more about it throughout the week. But
Nice.
that was kind of that was the starting
Yeah.
line to my I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I have a lot of anger and a lot of problems with myself and with the world and everything. And I feel like getting in touch with the divine is it could play a huge part in that, in helping solve that, rather than going to talk to a shrink and getting prescribed Lexapro,
Yeah.
and screwing up my brain chemistry, or
Yeah.
hitting the bottle, or fucking whatever, or buying
Yeah.
things, like working on my car. It's like I don't. That's different, but
Yeah. That describes it really well. Yeah.
yeah, like, and we've talked about this before. Like when I first started, when I started hitting the caffeine more than the THC, like I realized, like I started talking about that. It's you only have a certain amount of energy after watching that Galahad Danis video. You only have a certain amount of energy, and you have to give it to something. You have to put it into something. If you're really taking action to change, you have to put that energy somewhere, and
Yeah.
that'll be the direction you move towards.
hmm
But
And
anyways, I've gone on too long.
and that'll be the direction that everything moves towards, I would think.
Yeah,
Because in the end, you know, this will have just been, this will go away for us as individuals, and, what we've done and the pathways and patterns that we've built up will ripple out into the rest of the world
yeah,
and
and
affect things
throughout time.
forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So,
think about how we got to the point we are in now. Like the we've people progressively throughout time have been separating themselves from the divine, and this is the result. And we're going to keep moving away and away from it as a collective, and to where it's now, you know, there's going to be nothing left, and it's seen as kind of Bible thumping or occultic or just Zionist or whatever. Maybe not Zionist, but I don't know. I was trying to go there with. I was thinking about all the people in Israel, like Orthodox
yeah.
Jews and stuff. It's very like Judaism is now very political.
Eh,
To say at least it is very political.
Yeah, even people who are very into whatever religion they have, a lot of times, at least from the
It's
outside, it looks to me like it's not really about having a connection. It's about like following these certain rules and doing the right thing.
exactly.
And then a lot of them end up like sometimes I just think, and I'm sure every religion does this, but for example, like the Amish or like certain sects of
Yeah,
Judaism where they have like certain ways. Same thing with the Mormons. Like they all have little ways. Like it's not about having a connection or doing the right thing. It's just about following the rules and writing down the definitions so that you can get into heaven. And they have all these
yeah,
little ways you can find loopholes and kind of cheat God, and God will go, "Oh, okay. Ha, you did it. You played the
yeah.
game right." It's just about, playing the game and following the right steps.
Mhm.
And
And
maybe that's
just
it, but personally, I think there's more to it than that. I think you're a part of it, and you're really in it. It's alive. Uh
yeah,
it's not a
I would
script you can follow.
I would definitely say, like, yeah, a lot of people, I would say young, especially young people, are like raised in it. They see it as do this or you get in trouble. It's like tradition, or it's either rules or traditions that you don't understand but you still have to do.
Hmm.
Instead of, and it even says in the Bible, you're supposed to have a deep relationship with God. It's not about like worldly acts. It's about having an actual like deep relationship with the divine. And that's just been forgotten. And if it's, I don't know, it's like Kabbalah is like there's Christian and there's Jewish mysticism, and that really emphasizes the importance of why you do these things and like why you sing these songs a certain way is like because they're actually trying to transcend and have the closest connection they could with the divine. Like trying, I'm not saying like ritual, like in the Aleister Crowley context, but
Yeah,
also in like
you could
with
definitely take it to a lower level too.
yeah, with Eastern
Because,
Orthodox, just the amount of respect they have for their worship and the
mm,
sanctity of the
right.
church. It's not some place you come to have coffee and chat. It's some place you come to have a profound experience about something that you truly believe in and truly believe that is a higher power than yourself.
Yeah,
It makes you question: is God really seen as higher than you by a lot of people? Do they think that God is really above them, and do they have that kind of respect for it anymore? I don't know. That's a little off
yeah,
topic, the respect for it, but um, it's just the why. The why do we go to church?
yeah.
Is it to hear about the potluck? Is it to hear about the charity drive or whatever to catch up? Like, I don't know. Is or like why are we why are we alive? Why are we doing all these things outside of that?
Yeah.
Um, and it comes
And
down to
it,
like you have a deep connection with the physical, you know what I mean? That trust and that energy has been put into bank accounts and um houses.
oftentimes it seems like there's not even a that much of a, and maybe because there's not a deep connection with the higher power to even the people around in the church. Like, um, my parents were just saying they uh went to church recently with my grandparents.
Hmm.
Um, and the pastor or whatever, they were doing communion. And there weren't a lot of people at church because it was like a weekday, um, or something. But I
Right.
guess the communion was going on, and he was like, "Those who are close with God may come up to communion. Those who are not." And he like looked at my family and was like, "You can remain seated." It's like, all right, you're
Dang.
not really you're gonna tell people that you have figured it all out and you can tell
Yeah.
who's close with God and not even really try to connect with them or
Yeah, exactly.
discuss what you think, but just
I just haven't seen
it's
you at
just a
my
way to be
parish.
like, yeah, hey, I'm better than you. I guess
Yeah.
you're not
Haven't
in
seen you
my
guys
thing
in a
all the
while.
time, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It's politics. It's politics. Like with
Yeah,
Judaism,
right.
it's now
It is just
politics
turned into
within church.
politics.
With
Or with the
Catholicism, all this
Pope
shit
and
about the
everything
Pope.
too.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I can't believe I didn't make that. But the Catholic Church, it's like you got to think like what are the conversations that go on after a Pope dies? It's definitely not mournful.
Right.
And it's definitely all these cardinals are fucking flapping their wings trying to get up to the seat because they know the power that it holds, political power. People listen to
Yeah.
you, news anchors and all that fucking bullshit. So it's just a deep
Yeah.
connection with we need to lose
I
I need
think
to
most
work
of the
on it.
people who are meant for power don't actually want it.
That's
That's kind of
that's
not
yeah,
not
that's what I've always
connected
heard.
that much, but
No,
or
it
it is,
definitely
but
is
yeah. Yeah.
because if you want to, yeah, well, even back in the day, in the times like the people that the rabbis that were in power, they abused it, and that's just the world. That's just people's
Yeah.
putting their faith and their energy into the physical world is like yeah, and their
Mm.
natural need to destroy, to want to, I don't
Yeah.
know, I guess
I don't
destroy.
I don't mean to go on for too long here, but the something that does connect with that I've been thinking about a lot recently, just in like my personal life at work and
Mm,
stuff, and then seeing what's gone on in yeah, religion and especially politics and how the point things have gotten to. Um, they've gotten to that point because there's people in power who have misused it, but there's people in power who have misused it. It's a lot of it is our fault. A lot of it is the public who is comfortable and complacent enough that they don't put those people in check.
Exactly.
And
They give them the power,
it's
the energy.
gotten yeah, that's you've given them the power and it's gotten out of hand. Um, and I think that if everyone just starts trying to do the right thing on an individual level and get closer
Yeah.
to some sort of truth there, it will take an effect. It's that little swarm of insects. Why do they move in a certain direction? I don't really know, but once they start moving in a certain direction, the whole swarm will move.
Yeah. I think something to put in the
It's hard to,
analogy, just
yeah,
their nature.
yeah,
It's just their nature to move that way.
yeah. It's
Oh,
hard to be the first you know the first bug to
right.
move, but
Yeah,
got to
just
move
go against the
somewhere.
grain. I want you to take a guess. I was reading this, but what John the Baptist?
Not really.
You know who he is
I
though, right?
should. No,
He
not
was just
really.
he was just a Baptist. That's all. That's
Okay,
pretty
all
much.
right.
He was just a guy baptizing people. But
Okay.
guess what?
Oh, right.
Like he was around 30, I think, when Jesus was around
Yeah, yeah, okay.
20 or something like that. So that's just. But guess what he was eating while he was baptizing people in the wilderness? Just take a guess. Take a guess what this motherfucker was snacking on. Some locusts and honey.
Locusts and honey?
Yeah, that's
Hell
all this
yeah.
fool was eating, dude.
I
He
wouldn't
was
have
eating
guessed that. I was thinking like bread
that
or
bug
fish.
protein. That
Bug
bug
protein?
protein. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know why he was doing that. Probably for like a fasting or something. I would get
Oh,
him. I would,
there's nothing wrong with locusts and honey. I bet it's probably pretty good for you if you got those big biblical
but
locusts you're eating with some honey.
he was
What you
also
don't want is those
living in the wilderness, so
yeah,
that
yeah, I
justifies
guess
it.
so. You don't want those Monsanto mealworms that they're gonna feed us in the pod. That's not the real
Yeah.
bug meat.
No, dude. Yeah, you don't want to have eaten like a lizard. I mean, if you're, I don't know, if you're like the most spiritual guy around and you're living in the wilderness, sure, go ahead and eat locusts. Probably don't want to kill anything except locusts.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was funny talking about eating bugs. This is gonna be like, you ever see
I
that
need to
movie
start
Snowpiercer?
reading the Bible. I haven't seen it, but I know what it is. It's the end of the world, so like, let's get on a train and drive around
Yeah,
forever.
yeah. But that's what they do. They like farm flies and then cook them into blocks. That's what the people at the back of the train eat.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
there's a point in the movie where he looks down and they're just like melting bugs into goo, chopping it up into blocks.
Hell yeah.
But that's the dismal future. That's what we're calling it. The glorious future is when you break off, but if you just stay with mainstream society, that's the dismal future.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You got a
yeah,
choice, and you got a choice now. The
right.
glorious future is far off, but it's not that far off. It's same with the dismal future. It's wherever you put your mind right now.
It's every day, yeah.
It might seem like you're on the same plane here with everybody else, but I don't think everybody really is. I think there's
No,
people in very different realities all around us.
right. I don't know. The simulation. Oh, dude, I'm so fucking tired. I don't know why, but it's getting dark.
Yeah, I think that was like 2 hours.
That was a good episode and
Yeah,
a half. That would be a good
yeah.
two-parter.
We could probably split that one up too.
Fuck yeah. I was listening to World War III and the that episode. That one was pretty good.
Nice.
And then
Oh, did you
I was
get the
kind of,
file? I got the Dropbox thing you sent me too.
oh, nice. Yeah. Um, yeah, we don't have to put stuff in that one, but in the one that I sent you because,
Yeah. And I still
there's,
got one intro that you sent me left over, so
I gotta start making those again.
yeah, me too.
I've been watching that show Mindhunter.
I haven't
It's
seen it.
kind of weird. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's about like these guys. It's like in the 60s. These guys that work at Quantico, they start like interviewing serial killers that are locked up.
Hmm.
But it's like they're just trying to figure out like why people go crazy and chop up young girls. It's a very strange show, very very strange. But I don't know. It's kind of weird to see like the psychology in it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's still just like I'm just watching this show, not really doing much.
Is it
But that's what I've been into. It's kind of good. I say it's a
is it
good.
a real thing or it's a fictional?
I don't know if these two guys are like. I think they're just portraying the maybe the two guys that started it, if there was ever two guys.
Oh,
But the
right.
serial killers they're talking to are real.
Huh.
Let me look this up. Is Mindhunter real? Oh, it's based on real events and real people.
Hmm.
I think maybe they talked about Charles Manson. Oh, they talked to Charles Manson later on.
Darn.
But right now, they're talking to Edward Kemper or Edmund Kemper. I don't know. Yeah. So it was actually two guys that figured out the behavioral science unit of the FBI. But it makes you kind of think, is like some politicians might just be psychopaths because they want to like I don't know. They talk about a lot like just wanting to humiliate someone or like show people that you're powerful.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people project that in different ways. So maybe these politicians project it in that way. Kind of made me think about um, they're like with frat people, like frat guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe you'll be a serial killer if you're like a super weird loner dirtball.
Yeah.
But if you're like your parents are rich, you might just end up being a frat guy and humiliating
Yeah.
pledges.
Joining a secret society.
Yeah, and having be like Patrick Bateman.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about. Like, depending on what strata of society you're born into, you get to be like, you could be in Skull and Bones, or if I'd been a little richer, or maybe if I'd been like a foster kid, I'd be like robbing banks. Like, who knows what I'd be doing?
Yeah, I started
I
thinking it
could be in the street
kind of
ODing
scares me
right
to think
now.
about stuff like that. I'm like, dude,
I don't
like
think so. I think
like
I'd still
did my
make it right
parents
here
fuck
where
me
I'm
up?
supposed to be.
Like, did my
Yeah.
parents fuck me up by not loving me enough? No, I'm playing. That was, but like, yeah, you think about your childhood, like your formative years, like, why am I the way I am? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe it's because of this or that or the other
It's kind of crazy, like all the stuff that, at least for me
affects
anyway,
you.
it's like, dang, I got pretty lucky with
Yeah,
all the random events that happened to me, or not so random.
yeah, I don't know if I got lucky or just, I don't know. I got lucky. I got lucky I didn't have very many friends, or else I would have ended up being fucking terrible. Because like I don't know. I was just so weird. I couldn't be friends with any of the kids doing bad stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah. Um, I don't know. But anyways,
Mm.
shouts out to the glorious future listeners. I
Yeah.
want to say thank you to everyone right now
Welcome. Welcome.
for playing. I
We're
want to
gonna
say
make it
thank you.
happen.
I want to say thank you to everyone
We're in
for
this
putting your
forever.
energy to us. There we go, a little brightness. If you are
Yeah.
listening and thinking about this, I want to thank you for trusting us a
Contact
little
us,
bit.
Seminary
Yes.
Podcast on Instagram,
It's-
or
yeah.
Glorious Future on Instagram. If you want that link to the Atlantis 2 Discord, if you if you want to join us in the Atlantean Renaissance.
Exactly.
Big
Come with
things
us.
coming.
Big bang.
Huge,
We're gonna get
glorious things.
back to consistency right now. Getting back to work. We took the hiatus, but we're back,
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Like a shark 5 feet from the shore with blood in the water.
Yeah.
Game over. I'm not fucking around no more. We're gonna put. I gotta. We're putting this energy into the way we should. I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm so tired, but um,
In the glorious future,
in the glorious future, I feel like I could never do an outro.
we're doing it. Bam.
Damn. Stay blessed. Have a good night.